Hello guys, welcome to the Have Lab today. And my name is Babatunde and today we're going to be talking about finding the perimeter or the area of a rectangle given one of them. Okay, so in this question we're going to be given either the area or the perimeter the perimeter, the perimeter of the rectangle, and be asked to find the latter. Okay, so a perimeter basically means the distance outside the shape, in this case a rectangle, and the area is talking about inside of the rectangle. Okay, so the perimeter is 2 times length plus width. Okay, so that's the formula for the perimeter: 2 times length plus width. Okay, so we're going to add the length plus the width, and then we're going to multiply that by 2. That gives us the perimeter of the rectangle. And the area of the rectangle is length times width. Okay, so we're just going to multiply the length and the width together. Okay, and in this question we're going to be it's really good to observe. It's really nice to basically observe a question very well and kind of understand what you're working with, because the question is going to give you clues and what you're going to use to work with. Okay, so let's get to it. This question says the length of a rectangle is 4 times its width. Okay, so out here I drew a rectangle. Okay, this is the width, basically how wide the rectangle is. Okay, so the rectangle is this wide, and this is the length, basically how long it is, right? And we're told that the length of the rectangle is 4 times its width. Okay, so that means in whatever the width is, the length of the rectangle, which in this case is this, will be 4 times it, 4 times the width. Okay, so the length will be bigger than the width. That's what this means. Okay, the length will be 4 times bigger than the width. Okay, even though I didn't draw it here, it's kind of, I didn't draw the, even though I didn't draw the length that long, it's kind of self-explanatory. Okay, so multiply the 4 times the w. Okay, because we know this is going to be a 4 times the width. Okay, because the length is the 4 times the width. Okay, and the width is w, so we set w as the width. Okay, the length is L in this case. Okay, so 4 times w, that gives us 4w, right? So that means the length will be equals to 4w, because we know the length equals 4 times the width. Okay, and we're given the perimeter of the rectangle. We're given that the perimeter is 90 meters, and we're asked to find the area. Okay, and what I want to do here is based on this equation, I want to solve this equation so I can get the width and also the length. Okay, and when I do that, I can apply that to find the area. Okay, so I will use the perimeter that are already given to us in this case, which is 90, and the clue that I got, which is the 4w, right? I'm going to use that to find the length and the width. And when I do that, all I have to do next is just to find the area of the rectangle. Okay, so let's get to it. So this is the perimeter. The perimeter is 90 meters. Okay, so the perimeter of rectangle in this case is 2 times length plus width, right? And the perimeter in this question is 90. So we'll just replace the outside part with 90. Replace the perimeter here with 90, which equals 2 times the length. Okay, so we know the length is 4w, is 4 times the width, right? So instead of us to write the length here, because if we write the length here, it's not going to take us anywhere. Okay, but we know, we're given a clue that the length is 4 times the width. Okay, and if we're finding the w, right, because if you are finding one variable in the equation, right, in this case, if we're finding w in this equation only, it will be easier for us to find the w and the length. Okay, so since we know L equals 4w, we can just replace L here with 4w. So this is 4w plus the w here. Okay, so this w doesn't change because it's just there, it's itself. Okay, and so this is 90 equals 2 times 4w plus w, right? Okay, so this is 90 equals 2 times 5W. Because when we add 4W plus W, that's going to give us a 5W. Okay? And 2 times 5W, that's a 10W, right? That equals 90. Okay? 90. Okay, so the next step is for us to divide both sides by 10, because 10 is attached to the W here. Okay, and when we do that, this is divided by 10. It's also divided by 10. Okay, so when we divide this by this, it cancels out. 90 divided by 10, that's a 9, right? Okay, so this is 9 equals W. So W equals a 9. Okay, so based on that, we can solve for the length. We can find the length after we find the W. Okay, so we know the W equals 9. So we know the width equals 9, right? And based on the question, we're told that we're told that the length equals 4 times the width, right? So for us to find the length, just say 4 times 9. Okay, because we know the width is 9. So length equals 4 times 9. That equals a 36. Okay, so this is a 36. So now while we know what the width and the length are, we know that 9 and 36. Okay, but we're not done with the question yet. All we did was find the variables. Okay, so what the thing we have to do next is to find the area. Okay, and the area of a rectangle is length times width. Okay, we already found the length, which is 36. We already found the width, which is 9. Okay, so the area equals to 36 times 9. Okay, if you plug this in your calculator or you find it by yourself, this should be equals to 324. Okay, 324 meters squared. Because the area always ends with a square. Okay, so this is a 324 meters squared. Okay, so let's put that in. Alright, okay, so let me retrace my steps. Let me show you what I did. Okay, so what I did was I read the questions very carefully. I took out any clues I could gain. Okay, so the clue here was that the length was 4 times its width. Okay, so I took that out. I assigned the length as 4W in this case, right? And then I tried to get the length and the width, okay, by using the perimeter that was given to us, which is 90. I used that perimeter and I plugged in the 4W instead of the L here, because L equals the 4W, and I did that to solve the W, which was 9. Okay, so the W is the width. Okay, so I solved the width, which was 9, right? And I know that the length of the rectangle is 4 times its width. Okay, and so based on that, I was able to solve for the length, which was 4 times 9, which equals 36. Okay, and the area equals a length times a breadth. Okay, so I multiply the 36 and the 9, which brought me to 324. Okay, so let's look at more practice. Okay, so this question is basically the same thing we just worked on. And feel free to pause the video if you like to kind of test yourself. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look at this question. This question says the length of a rectangle is 3 times its width. Okay, so let's say this is the rectangle. Okay, so the length, what they mean is that the length here, because this is the length, let's say L equals length and W equals width. Okay, how wide it is, right? We're told that this length here equals 3 times the width, okay, which is 3 times W, which means 3W. Okay, so what that means is that every time the width increases, or if the width is a particular value, we don't know the value of the width, right? The length will be 3 times that value. Okay, so the length is longer. Okay, so even though I didn't draw it here, yeah, the length should be longer. Okay, so it doesn't matter because if I didn't draw it here, yeah, okay, and yeah, so based on that clue, this is the clue we got from here, which is the length equals 3W, right? So now we have to find the area and the perimeter. Here we know, no, we have to find the perimeter. We're given the area. Here we know the area equals the length times the width, right? and the perimeter equals 2 times the length plus the width. All right. Okay, so we're going to use these equations to solve for the length and the width and to find the perimeter of this equation. Okay, so we're given that area equals 147 inches squared. Okay, so what we have to do now is to replace this area with 147 because that's what we're working with in this question. So the area here is 147 equals length, which in this case the length equals 3w. Okay, because we know the 3w here equals the length, right? So this is 3w times the w. Okay, w remains the same. So this is 147 equals 3w squared. Because when this w multiply this w, okay, when they multiply each other, it's basically saying this w1, this is 3 times w to the power 1 plus 1. Okay, because we're multiplying them. So 1 plus 1 equals a 2. Okay, so what is left for us to do now is to divide both sides by 3 and find the square root of the division. Okay, so when we divide both sides by 3, divided by 3, this one cancels out here. 147 divided by 3, that's a 49. Okay, so it's a 49 equals w squared. Okay, so w squared is basically w squared equals 49. Okay, so now we have to find the square root of both sides. Okay, because w is attached to a square here. Okay, we just want to find w, not w squared. Okay, so when we do that, when we try to find the square root is w squared. So we'll put the square root here equals 49. Then we'll put the square root. Basically, we'll find the square root of both sides. Okay, so since this is a square root and a square, they both cancel out, right? Because we're basically saying square. We're basically finding the square root of a squared number. Okay, so this is w equals square root of 49. That's a 7. Okay, that's a 7 here. So the width is a 7. Okay, and so based on the clue here, we're told that the length equals to 3 times the width. Okay, so the length should be 3 times 7. Okay, and 3 times 7 equals a 21. Okay, so we know the length and we know the width now, 21 and 7. So we're going to use that and we're going to apply that into the perimeter equation, which is 2 times L plus W to find the perimeter. Okay, so the perimeter equals 2 times L, in this case is 21 already, okay? So it's 21 plus the W here is a 7. It is a 7. So next thing for us to do is to add these ones in the bracket first before we do anything outside. So 21 plus 7, that's a 28, right? It's a 28. And 2 times 28 goes out 56. Okay, so the perimeter in this case will be 56 inches. Okay, so let's put that in 6. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for watching the video, and I really hope it helped you out. Have a beautiful day ahead. Bye.